Who do you think is wishing that your comeback has a setback? I mean, because we hear people talk about haters and detractors. Is there, you said everybody's been supportive except for one person. Who is it that you feel, there's somebody out there, a group that you say, they want me to fail?
I don't know if there's a certain group out there that wants me to fail. I just know, it's people out there who think what I did was cruel and humane, and they feel like, I shouldn't have this second chance. I shouldn't have another opportunity to, turn things around for the better. Mm-hmm. And, to sit here and say that, there aren't anybody out there in the world who's thinking that or wishing that, is not being true or not being real. And, we all know that. And, for the most part, I think, 90-95% of the people in the world, love a comeback story. And, want people to have a second chance, and which is true.
Right.
Which is supposed to happen. America's a forgiving country. And, I think, we just have to, do what's right and, not put ourselves in a vulnerable position, at all costs. So, yeah, you're going to have the haters out there, you're going to have the people out there who don't want you to succeed, but I had that before I even, got drafted to, Atlanta. So that'll never change. And we as people have to deal with that, regardless of your race. And, you got to just continue to push forward and do what's right for yourself.
Michael Vick in the studio right now. It is a V103 World exclusive. You can log on to V103webmag.com right now and see him. He will be making his entrance into the Georgia Dome tomorrow. Do you plan on going out there at all before the doors open, just by yourself to walk the field, or you're just going to wait until y'all do y'all's pregame workouts? I mean, what are you going to do? Because that's your... Deion Sanders said Atlanta Fulton County Stadium was his building, the Dome was his building. You put the electricity inside that building. I even told you myself, I said, I hope that you had something to do with the season ticket revenue in your deal, because that place wasn't like that until you came in there. Do you plan on walking around at all before the hoopla starts?
Oh, I definitely plan on going out early in the warm-ups just to, see some of my old friends, see some of the guys that I played with. A couple of us have talked on the phone, and we talked about coming out early. Just walk around the dome and just, surveying the surroundings, just looking around and seeing what, like I said, what's different and what's changed. And, because, now I only get to see it on TV.
Right.
And it looks totally different. But, I'm just going to go out there and just enjoy the moment. I got to go out there early. I feel like it's only right, because I, like I said, when I was there, it was just, it was electricity all through the stadium, every week, week in and week out. And the fans was crazy, and they was always riled up, and they was always into the game, and always making noise for the opposing team. So, yeah, it's a great place to play. Probably one of the best stadiums, and from what I hear, from people who played in the stadium, against us, say it's one of the loudest stadiums in the league. So that's good to hear.
Do you plan on having a conversation either privately or, because we know that Mr. Blank always comes down to the field. We've seen him push you around in the wheelchair. Y'all had a very unique relationship. Do you plan on having a conversation with him at all, knowing that you're going to be in town?
Mr. Blank's a great guy, and I look forward to seeing him tomorrow. Having a brief conversation with him like we always have, periodically every now and then. And, just talking to him, as well as, other people, in the organization. And, it's so many people that I developed relationships with, that I wish, I never had, had the opportunity to get involved in the things that I got involved in, because it kind of, severed some of the ties with some of the people that I had relationships with, So, I look forward to seeing him, look forward to seeing everything.
Who is in your circle right now? Because I remember seeing you one time in Vegas, and I saw about 12 people before I even saw you. I didn't know who it was. I mean, but now that you said that you had surrounded yourself around with a lot of people that, didn't have your best interests at heart, right. With all the stuff that you're going through now, it's a day-to-day thing. When you're frustrated that, man, I ain't getting no run again, Who's that phone call to?
Oh man, that phone call now was to my mother.
Really?
I make that phone call to my mom, you know, and I've been, you know, with my high school coach now. When I'm going through some things, when I'm going through a lot, I call him, and you know, he's always there, you know, for support. You know, always there to give me the best advice I need at the most, opportune time. And
Now, is that because they are people that love you unconditionally?
yeah, those are the people who love me unconditionally. Those are the people who I didn't reach out to when I was going through a lot, 4 or 5 years ago. And I found out that I get the best advice from them and the most comfort, from them.
You talk about, in the magazine article, that your fiance and your children would come to see you in prison, and how you would watch them turn the corner and they would be crying, and then that would make you cry. Then you said after a while they stopped crying, and that affected you in a way that you were not prepared for it. Talk about that.
Yeah, because it was becoming normal for them to leave me, and I felt like that type of normalcy in my life wasn't the right type of normalcy. I didn't want that. I didn't want them to get used to that. That wasn't my life, and I was already in a place where it was tough and it was rough, and I felt like I didn't supposed to be there, but in hindsight I did, because of my actions, and I just seen my kids growing up on me. I seen them kind of like being content with the situation and moving on, and I was like, whoa, this is not the right thing to do. This is not the way to be, because I'm struggling right now.
Right.
I don't want to be here, and they acting like it's just a normal thing, and that hurt more than anything.
Michael Vick in the studio, Ryan Cameron Show. We are broadcast live on V103webmag.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to ask you about, after all the trial and the prosecution and all that conviction and everything is over, your first night when you were looking up at that ceiling, and what was that like to know where you were and where you were at that particular point when we come back?
No problem.
All right, we got more with Michael Vick. It is the People Station. It is V103.